I think the growth hacker mindset is made up of a couple of things. One, you have to understand that customers hold the keys to unlocking growth. So you have to be passionate about understanding what's important to your customers. Two, I think you have to act like a scientist. So it's really important to come up with your own hypotheses about what you think will make your business grow, different ways that it will grow, and then really kind of challenge those hypotheses and see if they're true or disprove them. Three, I think, is you need to be creative and curious. I think growth hackers look at what everyone is doing and then look for opportunities on how to do it differently. So they look for gaps in the market, and they have to be curious. And then lastly, I think to be a growth hacker and have the growth hacker mindset is to want to get your hands dirty, is to get out of the world of theory, get out there, try things, experiment, learn, and go from there. And I think those four things together is what makes the growth hacker mindset. The best growth hack I've ever heard of is actually the Dropbox growth hack, which is also popular. And what they did is they figured out a way to give away free space in exchange for referring your friends. And what they did is basically take a very low cost asset, but that had a very high perceived value to their audience, and made it a fun game to give away to their friends. And that's how they grew to millions and millions of users without traditional marketing spend. I think growth hacking, or the interesting thing about growth hacks, is that they change all the time, so that growth hacks that worked in the past dry up very quickly, and that's part of the excitement and challenge of growth hacking, is trying to find the next big thing. But there's always a lot to learn from the really successful ones as well. You become an expert at A/B testing by a couple of things. One is to understand the theory behind it and really understand what you're trying to accomplish and the different techniques that you need to use. So you need to understand things like statistical significance and how to determine the proper sample size for a test. But beyond that, you have to actually go out and do a lot of it. And you have to think like a scientist, and you have to come up with hypotheses about what you think are going to work and come up with a series of tests to go out and validate. And then by running numerous tests over and over and over again, you start to get a really good feel of the types of tests that matter, the types of tests that don't matter, and go from there. So it's theory and practice, like anything. The best way to shorten your time to product market fit is to look at existing solutions in the marketplace and really understand how their customers think about the solution that they provide. And if you're competing with them, you want to use the position that they hold in their customers' minds as a lever, as a step on the ladder to getting them to understand what your product does and why it's better. So your product, if it's like other products in the category, is probably just a little bit different or a little bit better. And so you want to leverage what customers already know about products in that category to kind of leapfrog that whole education piece and really shrink down the time it takes to find product market fit. And then use your differentiators as the extra little bit of goodness that makes it really exciting for customers to want to try and use. The one thing to remember about growth and growth hacking is that most of what you try is going to fail. And so being a good growth hacker and being good at growth is being willing to push through failures and to continue to try new ideas, come up with new experiments, think of new ways, and even when something fails, to not take it personally or not give up, but to keep being creative, trying new things, and always being willing to try the next thing and keep going. So I think perseverance is the key to growth as well as entrepreneurship.